another edition of Gulf Coast Fight TV. We're live here at Furia Training Center. We're going to discuss a few things today. UFC 201, Garcia Grappling, and Garcia Cage Combat 25. We're also going to talk a little bit about MMA in Galveston County as a whole. But let me introduce my coach here, Jason Carter. Tell us about the gym and how it all started.
All right. So yeah, Drew already said my name, Jason Carter. Talking about my gym, actually, we're about to have our 10-year anniversary in September. So we're really excited about that. We do a lot of different things here, from mixed martial arts to karate, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, boxing, so a number of things that I guess encompass the mixed martial arts. And so we're here today with some of my other fighters too, like Bobby Bradshaw. We have Jose Solis, who has a fight coming up. We have Sonbnosky, who has a fight coming up. I guess we'll talk later about that. We're going to be on that Garcia promotion.
Yeah, let's just jump into that then, right now. Let's, Jose, tell us a little bit about your fight and who you're fighting and what you've done to prepare for this fight.
Well, honestly, I don't know a lot about the guy. I just know he's a Muay Thai guy. He has a good record. I think he's 5-1. I've been preparing for the last, 2 years, a year and a half.
Yeah.
Been sparring out there in Texas Striking Academy and been getting work here
What's
at
up,
the Training
Joel?
Center. Yeah, shout out to them. Everybody at Texas Striking Academy. But yeah, I've been sparring with Josh Alton, who's gonna be the main event that night. So that's pretty much what I've been doing differently, man. Just getting out of my comfort zone and taking my skills to another gym and putting them on display over there. So
Yeah. Shane, tell us about your fight. Who you fighting?
I'm fighting Juan. Don't know much about him. Saw his last fight where he knocked the guy out with a knee. So he looks pretty tough. My name's Sonbnosky. I've been doing MMA for 3 years. And right now I'm 1-1-1. But I really haven't changed up my training. I just train every day. Drill every day. Have my mindset ready.
Just do what he's told.
Yes.
Yeah, do what I told.
And Garcia puts on a great show. I went there last time. Bobby fought on there. Jason, how do you feel about his show and how it goes?
I've had good experiences there. I figure there's a lot of promotions going on. I think the more the merrier for all these fighters. So you have different takes on that. And so far I've been impressed with the guys. Been impressed with their shows.
Yeah, solid card. How do you feel fighting on that card, Bobby?
Eric always treats me well. He's always nice. He's always asking me how I'm doing, what's my blood work going. Always keeping in touch with me the entire fight camp. Asking me if I need anything. He's always good like that.
Yeah, it's always good dealing with promotion that looks out for the fighters and it's always on time.
It's good having a second promotion.
Yeah, it's just easy as a fighter. It's easy as a fighter.
Yeah.
Okay, since we're talking about that, let's talk about the main event. Josh. What's up, Josh? You trained with him a little bit.
yeah, I've been training with him.
What do you see? How do you see his fight going? It's for the title, right? 145 title?
Yeah, it is. He's going to be the main event. He's going to be the next featherweight champion. I guarantee it. He's just been putting in a lot of work. Just working with him, like I said, sparring 10 rounds, going to Pearland, sparring in SBA. We've just been doing a lot of grinding. And I can honestly say whether it goes to the ground or it stays on the feet, he's gonna win, and it's gonna be quick.
Yeah, I've trained with that kid. That kid is a monster, man. So I'm looking forward to that fight.
Yeah, I've been impressed with him. He came into the gym a couple times, and I'm always a fan of kickers. I like people who kick. I like people with karate background, which I like to get into that in a little bit, just because it's coming back on the scene in MMA.
Yeah.
Karate guys been made fun of for the past few years. Every time, sometimes when somebody, well, what's your main style? What's your background? Like karate, you get this little giggle. I'm like, well, come in my gym, let me kick you in the head. That's just because it got watered down. And,
Now everybody loves Stephen Wonderboy Thompson now.
Yeah.
Jumping on the bandwagon. But yeah, just back to Josh. I like his movement. I like his style. Stylistically, I was impressed with him. So.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with the guys at TSA, Joel. I mean, them two, they got good chemistry, and that's a young fighter on the rise, man.
They've been training together for quite some time. So
Okay, well, speaking of Garcia, he also got some grappling promotion. How do y'all feel about that? To have a promotion spotlight the grapplers as, because you don't see that too much around here. Actual promotion that's gonna
Mostly
get the best of the best against each other.
the only time you ever see the grapplers is like at tournaments, and like usually you never watch the black belts or the purple belts, the high people, because you're literally you do your match and you leave. You never really stay to see really good people. Nobody wants to sit there for 8 hours and watch it. But with these promotions, you get to see who's the best in the city.
And they put on a show too, right? It's like
it's a whole show.
Yeah.
It's like Metamoris, Eddie Bravo Invitational, stuff like that. All the lights on one big mat so everybody can watch you.
It's just like an MMA fight, man. It's just training for one martial art specifically for just submissions.
Yeah.
So I like the fact that it's submission only. You know, you don't win by points. You don't win by time limit. It's submission. You know, whoever gets the submission, whoever gets the tap. That I think it's great for just the art of jiu-jitsu in its own, you know.
that makes it interesting. You can't stall. You can't. You go for the submission. You got to go for the win. Go for the kill. I mean that makes it interesting to me.
Yeah, it does.
Okay, a few other things we want to talk about. We talk about, like you're saying, karate and striking. But we're talking about Wonder Boy Thompson. He's next in line to fight for the welterweight title. The two guys that fight on the next UFC 201 is Lawler and Woodley. So, what do you that's your principle. That's what you like. It's karate. What do you think of him against that fight against when he fights? If he fights Lawler, the winner of Lawler and Woodley.
Talking about Stephen?
Yeah, if he fights the winner of them.
I mean, I guess right off, I've become a Lawler fan and not trying to jump on the bandwagon. When you see a guy come from way back when and progress so much now, it's like, wow, this dude, he's a monster.
He was actually the first MMA fight I ever saw.
Right, so I mean, he's like such a veteran and still getting better. That's always an impressive thing.
Stylistically, how you like that?
But I mean, Stephen Wonderboy, I'm gonna go for him when it comes down to it. Just because, I mean, it has to be the karate in me, I guess.
Yeah.
I think that guy right now is he's nailing people because they can't exploit his wrestling. You know, he has some wrestling in his background. I talk about this often about the beginnings of MMA and how karate just wasn't making it in there, and
right.
Because I think you need these four groups. You got to know how to box. You got to know how to wrestle, you got to know Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and you got to know some Muay Thai. And so these four things, this is what people really consider mixed martial arts. So I'm one of those guys that says that fifth element, you know, of karate is what's changing everything. Because if you know these four things, if you can handle these four things, and you bring that karate element to it, they're lost. They can't touch you. The movement, the distance is so much different, and that's the main thing is the distance.
Yeah, you've seen fighters like Machidas come to the forefront. Wonder Boy Thompson. Who else is a good karate fighter?
Look at GSP. GSP will tell you that even though a lot of his success was in the wrestling and his shot, he contributes that to point sparring. So, I mean, it's the timing. And
McGregor.
McGregor too.
Yeah, McGregor's movement is it's karate. Yeah, it's karate style too.
Holly
as well.
Holm, I know she had a rough fight this past weekend.
Rough fight.
She got countered really well, but you know, still a great fighter, and you know, just another fighter with a karate background.
Let's keep it with UFC 201. There's a couple interesting fights on there. One I really like is Jose Masvidal versus Ross Pearson. I think that's going to be a bar burner, just going back striking. But I think Jose will come out on top.
Jorge.
Yeah, Jorge Masvidal. My fault. I was going to say, who do you see coming out on that one?
Me? Honestly, just I guess Jorge Masvidal.
Yeah.
Just because, but it's gonna be a war, man. I just like the matchup. It's a real good matchup. Yeah. And there's a bunch of other good matchups on that card. You
Ross
know?
had a good outing against the Bellator champ. He almost beat him. Yeah. So he's still good to go. So he's fighting. I think this is a short notice fight he's taking. Yeah. He only fought like 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah, that's an interesting fight. I know Thug Rose is gonna fight. She's fighting. I'm not too sure. I think this is a newcomer to UFC. Maybe her first fight. It's a co-main event. I don't know too much about the girl she's fighting, but I know Rose she's been on it lately. I mean, her training, she's been mixing this MMA altogether has been great. So I'll go with Rose in the co-main event. What do you think?
Let's see, Uncle Creepy Ian McCall, 125, is making his comeback against Josh Scroggins.
Yes.
Josh Scroggins.
Yeah, Scroggins.
Like, I don't know, Ian McCall looks like unbeatable sometimes, but other times he just looks awful. I don't really know what's up with him sometimes. I guess it's a mental thing.
Could be.
Who else is on it?
I'm not too sure who else is on it.
Hey,
I don't know, it's going to be a good show. I mean, UFC always puts on good shows.
No.
What do you think about the main event, Lawler versus Woodley? I think this is going to be a very tough fight for Lawler. It depending on which Woodley shows up. The Woodley that showed up against Carlo Condit, that's trouble right there for anybody.
Yeah.
But the Woodley that showed up against who was it? The guy he had his nose broke by Law previously.
Oh yeah,
Roy?
McDonald, yeah. The one that showed up against it, he didn't fight, he didn't press the fight. What do you see? Who comes out of that one?
Who's that bad guy on Harry Potter?
Baltimore.
Yeah, I seen that man with
Lawler.
Baltimore. Yeah.
Robbie Lawler turned
Yeah.
Roy McDonald into that guy.
Yeah.
That's all I can think about.
Yeah, that was bad.
The whole time I was
That-
watching that fight, I
that
cringed
was-
every time he got hit in his nose and thought, man, he looks like the guy on Harry Potter.
That was a war though, man. That was one of the greatest fights I've seen. But what do you think? Who got the in the main event? Who do you got out of Woodley and Lawler?
I'm gonna go Lawler. I'm gonna go with Lawler. I'm not taking anything away from Woodley. I guess I know more about Lawler, and he's just on a winning streak, and I just think he's always adapting too. Every time he comes into a fight, you see stuff that we've talked about in the gym. You see stuff that he's changing it up, and he's ahead of the game, and I think that's important. People get too close-minded. People, they don't mix up their weapons.
Right.
He's one of the guys that definitely mixes it up well.
How do you see you playing out? KO off all 5 rounds? Because he's been going 5 rounds lately, so how do you see you playing out?
You can just hang it up, Bobby, or just. That's what happens when you're live. So yeah, I mean, 5 rounds or not, I mean, they both got it in them. So I mean,
Is Tyrone ever gone 5 rounds?
I don't believe
think
Tyrone.
so.
I don't think
Tyrone.
so.
And then has he ever fought for a title?
No.
Okay,
No.
well, I think
Unless he was main event.
He's gotten close, but he's like.
I just
I
think
mean, I-
it's always beginner's luck, what do they say?
Well, I see Lawler coming on top, but I think Woodley's speed is going to be really hard to
I
deal
mean,
with.
it is, but
His
Lawler
last couple
is
fights, he's been
evolving,
really
man.
quick and he's
Lawler
put
is
together.
evolving, and you're really gonna see what Lawler's capable of. If he takes out Woodley, you're gonna see kind of a preview of what's it gonna be like to fight Wonderboy Thompson.
Yeah. Thompson. Who you see in that, Shane? Who you got?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Well, they're teammates, so.
You pretty sure one got better than the other in practice before?
Well, they said Tyler Woodley went to a different gym, so I don't know who's got it, but
so it could benefit him, and that could.
that could benefit him, but
But
could hurt him.
Either way with
I'm
that.
kind of sure this might happen. They probably went to the gym a couple times, and one of them has in their mind they got the best of them. They probably think they're going to handle them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you usually know that kind of thing when you spar with somebody a lot and train with them a lot.
You start knowing what they're doing. You gotta switch it up. That's why you gotta go to other gyms and you gotta mix it up. You can't stay one dimensional. If you're always sparring at the same gym, if you're always training at the same gym, you're always everyone's gonna know what
You
you
need to
do.
push.
And you're never, you need to get out there and spar with the best. And that's why it's mixed martial arts, man. So you can mix it up and switch it up every single time. Whenever you have the chance to go somewhere else and get out of your comfort zone, because your gym becomes your comfort zone. You become adapted to the people, their styles. So whenever you have the time, get out of your comfort zone, get out to other gyms and spar other people to see what you're really.
So saying that, do you see Woodley with the edge since he did that?
I think it kind of gives him an edge, but it makes me question whether he was comfortable where he was at. Maybe if he wasn't getting pushed enough, and he had to go somewhere and look for different
partners.
Yeah, for different training partners, different bodies.
Well, these guys like Lawler, man, they've got people coming in for them. I mean, they got big headline fights, and so they're going to have the money, and they're going to have the partnership with these other guys that are on these big headline fights. So they're going to come in and work specific training with those kind of guys.
Yeah.
So they'll get that variety. They'll find it. So.
Sticking with the UFC, well, it's been a big issue with the USADA. A lot of guys are getting popped. Brock Lesnar, John Jones, Chad Mendez. It's just been going on. What do y'all feel about the use of PEDs and MMA?
Man, I have mixed feelings about it, to be honest. And for somebody who's never taken any of that crap, I mean, I can honestly say, can't you tell?
Your calves do look bigger.
Yeah, especially when you know how many injuries I have, and with my swole muscles and all. But what I mean by that is I'm not a fan of steroids. I don't think actual performance-enhancing drugs should be used. They have it's an advantage they shouldn't have.
Is it an advantage in the fight-wise?
It can be. I'm not for steroids, but these recovery drugs and some of the things these guys are taking, like I just recently found out that they were Advil. You can't have that. I mean, I don't know if this is something that that are at fault. I don't know, man, but I think they've gone a little extreme with it. And I think these guys should be able to do something with recovery.
Yeah,
What about the IV? I'm confused on the IV. There's no more IVs.
Yeah.
You can't
Have to
rehydrate.
wait.
Now how is that, to me, I don't see how is that against the rules?
An auction time.
They feel like it's an unfair advantage if a guy's like ballooning up 20 pounds up right after they cut weight. So
Oh, okay.
they kind of feel like he's.
And well, speaking of that, I'm a fan of this whole this new weight.
The weigh-ins.
The weigh-ins,
Oh,
man.
what,
I
like
got
at 10
to-
o'clock in the morning?
Well,
Well,
no.
in California,
No,
what
you
they have
don't
now
have
is
to by weight.
Okay.
You got to be 10%,
yeah,
10% above your fight weight.
yeah.
Yeah, you
can't
weigh
be-
in like 2 weeks before, and you have to
Yeah,
be
you
a
You
certain
can't be
amount.
30,
You
40
gotta
pounds
meet
up.
the
So-
requirements. And I mean, it should go nationwide, man. To be honest,
Yeah.
because there's
This is
people
better for
cut
the
big,
fighters
and
as
it's
well.
safer too. You know, you see a lot of fighters who are good fighters, and they make a drastic cut. 40, 50 pounds, and they show up to fight night and they don't perform, and that's because of the drastic weight cuts that they've been doing. So I think the 10% should go nationwide, brought everywhere to every major city that does MMA. You know, like here in Houston, it should be implemented. You know.
Yeah.
You're
Not
right.
10% big. If it's 185, we're not.
I'm not too sure. But speaking with the steroids, okay, we watched the fight here at Furia. So are you saying, would you say the juice helped Brock Lesnar win the fight against Mark Hunt, or do you think he would have won that fight regardless?
No.
Nah.
Mark Hunt didn't throw no punches.
He didn't throw any uppercuts. Where was his? I was screaming uppercut. He couldn't hear me.
Well, that's where the argument comes in. So what is the PD actually
You know,
for? Is it for the physique? Is it helping him train harder? Is it?
I
It
just
helps.
That's
think
what I'm
it's
asking.
endurance. I just think it's endurance, man. I've seen several fights in Pride. You saw it a lot. You know, people. Who
Oh, those
juiced
guys
up,
are
you
juicing
know,
the gills and pride, man. But
and what
I loved
happened
it
was these guys would become punching bags, but they could take so much damage. You could deal so
That's
much
true.
damage to the fighter without him giving in. You know.
Sad story. Gary
That's
Goodridge.
Yeah.
Gary Goodridge. I mean, yeah.
So you saw it back then, and to see it now in MMA, you know, a sport, a young sport. You don't want to see that in a young sport, you know, like mixed martial arts, UFC. You don't want to see that type of drug use, because you know we already have an unsafe sport with the drastic weight cuts. To have drugs, added into it, and that's even more unsafe. It makes it even more unsafe for the person who's using them, and for other fighters.
Yeah.
And unfair, And nobody wants to fight a guy who you're beating and just you can't,
Yeah, I guess that's why I said I have mixed feelings. I wouldn't want to promote drugs. I wouldn't want to promote them taking beatings they shouldn't be taking because they're on something else. I just mean, I think there's nitpicking. I don't agree with all of the drugs they're banning and saying that they're illegal.
Something for recovery to help you recover from so say like you get some injury that you can heal from and you still have time to heal from it. You could use something to improve the healing. The healing process, so you'll be able to make the fight. Because if you have like a small little ankle sprain or something,
Like the
you can something you can apply that'll help you be able to show up on fight night.
Okay. Sticking with the UFC, let's fast forward a little bit. What do y'all think about how it's going to go between McGregor versus Diaz 2?
Same story.
Same story, same ending?
It's really hard to say.
McGregor's not really talking too much this time.
Well, I think he can't
He's
talk
so
really.
quiet.
He can't really talk this time. It's
No more talking McGregor.
So-
I think Nate's gonna come out with a win. He's gonna have a full camp. It's gonna be tough.
And
It's gonna be
because he
tough
took the
for
fight,
Conor McGregor. But
2 days
I
notice?
want to say, I do want to
7
say
days,
though, I do want to
7
say that Conor McGregor, if he picks he can pick Nate Diaz apart.
I mean,
That's the
he was able to
striking
tag him.
skills.
He
He
was
has
able to
it.
tag him in that
He
first
has
round.
it.
Then he got caught.
Yes.
I give credit both those guys into I call them range masters. They're masters of their range, masters of their distance. And you saw Conor come right out and he's tagging him, so he had the range right away. But Diaz is such a tough guy that he was able to weather that. When I was watching, I was like, oh man, he's throwing too much. Conor's throwing too much into it. And then the second round came out, and of course Nate Diaz had his range down. So with that said, him being more of a veteran. Even though I like Conor McGregor, I'd have to give the second fight to Diaz. Yeah,
same way, submission or knockout?
It might be TKO.
TKO?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with submission again.
Jose?
I say he's gonna beat him on the feet. Nate Diaz is gonna take
So
him.
TKO?
Yeah.
Shane?
I'm going to go against them and go with Conor.
Gotta have an opposing.
You gotta have someone
You
opposing.
gotta have a yin and a yang.
I got Woodley in this fight anyways.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
good. Shane's going against the grain against everything,
Yes, I don't like him. Yes,
man. All right, let's switch gears. I've been wanting to talk about MMA in Galveston County as a whole. It's young into the county. It's new sport, but it's really new to Galveston County. Jason, you've been in the business going on 10 years. How do you feel about the movement you see here in Galveston County?
Yeah, speaking of that, like when I opened here in 2006, I was the only MMA studio around it. The only MMA gym. There was karate gyms and some boxing gyms, and that was about it. And so then I started seeing them pop up everywhere, and you can look at that as a bad competition or good competition. I look at it as, hey, my sport's growing. This is awesome. Like Houston's blowing up. And with that being said about Galveston County, like Jose's talked about mixing it up and cross training, which I think I'm a fan of cross training for reasons of you need that variety. But if you go all over the place, if you go all over Galveston County, you go all over Houston, you go all over here, it's kind of, you're really putting your blueprint out there to everybody. I've even had fighters go and have their opponent's coach hold mitts for them, not knowing they've just had another gym trying to cross train, and you're getting all the information you need right there. So with that said, I kind of like that I want that unity right here in Galveston County, like your places like Texas City Striking Academy, SBA. They've been really cool and some cross training, and so
just in Galveston alone, where I'm from, like we have three jiu-jitsu gyms. You got Undercurrent, you got Galveston BJJ, and you got Anaconda. And it's just crazy to me because coming up as a kid, all we knew was boxing. And now to think about it, I don't think we have one boxing gym, I believe, in Galveston. That's Patina Backyard Boxing, but and there's more jiu-jitsu gyms than boxing. So it's just crazy to me. It's crazy how the sport
It's growing.
has grown in Galveston County.
They say it's the fastest growing sport. I mean, mixed martial arts.
And it's just great for kids, man. An outlet. Galveston County. Everybody knows y'all from Galveston County. I mean, there's a lot of trouble in here. There's a lot of things to get into.
I got something to say about that.
Okay, I'm glad the kids have an outlet, or you can speak more on that right now.
Of course, I want to say that from experience, growing up in a rough neighborhood, always on the streets with the wrong people, sometimes at the wrong place at the wrong time, and from experience, I started doing mixed martial arts whenever I was 17 or 18. But I was bad. I was hanging around with some bad people, doing bad things, and honestly, I found this was my way out, and when I came into this gym, into the Furia Training Center, and started training under Jason Carter, this became my way out of the street, out of instead of focusing my time doing the wrong things, doing people wrong, instead I focused my time in here. And ever since, it's been. I'm grateful to my coach Jason Carter. Grateful to my training partners. Just grateful to everyone that has helped me. Just try to make this dream happen, because this is what we're on. We're on this road chasing this dream. Trying to get to the UFC, trying to get to Legacy or whatever it is. That where we're going. But I'm grateful for everyone here.
Well, and saying all these different things about it, and you'll see big fighters talk trash on TV. That's a lot about their business. It's about their money. But ultimately, you meet all these fighters at these fights. You meet people at gyms. Everybody's really, really nice. There's a lot of educated people involved with this, and I think it's great for the community because it does represent good character. That's what I do every day. I'm trying to teach classes, and I'm trying to build these kids up, my fighters. I tell them, I treat them just like the kids sometimes. Like I want them to have the same respect as my kids do. It's about respect, and so martial arts.
Overall, the Galveston County MMA scene has really started to expand, and we're getting more coverage. We're being seen.
Yes, I love it. Thank you, Diego, for that, man.
Yeah, I want to thank Gulf Coast TV for that too. For coming out here and putting that spotlight on us.
Because it's rich with talent down here. It's tough.
It is, man.
It's tough down here, man. We're tough kids down here. Tough young men and women coming up in here, and I'm just really happy that we're doing shows like this and discussing Galveston MMA. Bobby, Shane, y'all from Santa Fe.
Yep.
Tell me about the MMA scene over there. Is it really one or?
There is nothing there. There's actually there's one. There's Aftermath Stars. They pretty much I don't know much about them. But you know.
Well, no, I know who
Like
they are.
there's a cry gym there every now and then, but now there's just one that's kind of
Hey,
like
Well, even-
pretty soon though, pretty soon, man, it is gonna get there. You know,
Yeah, that's what I'm
Growing up,
saying.
it's blowing up.
That's why you just
know, it's
come
gonna
here.
get there. You know.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what's so good about it. Like, it's the Galveston County, but every gym's just a drive away from your city.
Yeah,
So that's what's great about it. Like, you
Yeah.
can find a gym close
Yeah.
in Galveston County to your city.
Yeah.
the good thing.
So that's what I really like that's going on in the Galveston MMA scene right now,
Yeah.
Galveston County MMA scene.
The good thing about us blowing up is because we get more opportunities. Like in combat sports, with so many different kinds of gyms out here, there's more boxing shows, more MMA shows, kickboxing shows.
Yeah, and they're happening right down the street. The guys can go sleep in their own bed and wake up and have a fight, 5-10 minutes from their
Oh,
house.
have to
I used to love that when I
Louisiana.
fought in Galveston on the C-Wide for SEC. What's up, SEC? I used to love going and just going to my mama's house and waking up and fighting the same day. That was awesome,
Yeah,
man.
it was.
So I really, what's up, Longhorn?
Yeah, when you come back to Galveston.
Yeah, come back to Galveston, man. We need you.
I guess we should mention since Savarese is having a show here.
Yes, Savarese is having it,
Kickboxing MMA show.
All the
Kickboxing,
man?
boxing, yeah.
What is it called? The World's Gym.
World's Gym.
World's Gym, and that's crazy in itself right there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that just shows you.
I hung out in that mall as a kid. And now
Yeah, I
there's
forgot
fights
that one. Now there's fights there. It just
Yeah,
shows you that the county it wants fights. It's an audience here. There's money to be made here. There's fighters here, and I just love what's going on in Galveston County MMA. Well, basically that's gonna do it for us today. Just give shout outs. What you want to say, Sean? Shane, about your fight.
Sean Sonbnosky.
Oh, Sean Sonbnosky?
Yeah, Sean.
Yeah, Sean Sonbnosky here. I just want to say thank you for everybody helping me out and preparing for this fight, and I'm going to bring a show.
Jose.
I want to give a shout out to everybody here at Furia Training Center, my coaches, my training partners, everybody who comes in here and shows up to striking class and shows up to jiu-jitsu class. Big shout out to them because they've been helping me get ready for this next fight. Also, a big shout out to everybody over there at Texas Striking Academy, Josh Altum, Joe Rivera, Carla Hernandez, everybody over there who has been helping me, get ready. Also, I want to give them a shout out. I want to give a shout out to my sponsors. I want to give a shout out to iCry over here in Lake City. I want to give a shout out to Texas City Consultants over there in Texas City. So.
Boy, you know everybody.
Yeah, man, I'm everywhere. I'm telling you, man, I'm blowing up.
Yeah, you got to network yourself.
You gotta network.
Networking,
True ball.
I'm grateful
Remember the name.
for everyone and grateful to Gulf Coast Fight TV for coming out here and give me some time
big
on
up
camera.
Diego, man. Big up
Appreciate it.
Diego.
Yeah, man, thank you, Diego, for coming out and giving us this opportunity. This is like my family here. These guys, we train all the time. We were here earlier today training, and these guys that have got these fights coming up, Shane and Jose, they're doing everything they've been told to do. That's all the coach can ask for is they come in and give you 100%. Yes, sir, and they just do it. They grind. So I'm really excited about their fights. If you want to come check us out here at Furia, we're located in Lake City, Dickinson. It's kind of like right on the line of 646. So we start classes after 4 p.m. every day. There's something for everybody. I start kids at 3 years old, and I've got people I'm training in their 70s. So come check us out.
Any last words, Bobby?
No, I'm good, man. Just chilling.
It's good. Well, that's gonna do it, man. Thank you for tuning in. Maybe we'll be back next time soon. Peace.
Peace.
All right.